Let's get right into it. Number 10, butter coffee. Picture this. You wake up, stumble into the kitchen, and your first thought is, you know what this artisanal single-origin coffee needs? A heaping spoonful of unsalted, grass-fed butter. For a while, this wasn't just a fever dream. It was the cornerstone of a wellness cult known as bulletproof coffee. The sales pitch was slick. Blending butter and a special expensive oil into your coffee would give you boundless energy, a razor-sharp mind, and turn your body into a fat-burning furnace. It was supposed to be a breakfast replacement that tricked your metabolism into high gear. Here's the thing. Your body knows that your Instagram feed doesn't. Fat is the most calorie-dense macronutrient on the planet. When you chug a 450-calorie mug of hot butter, you're not biohacking your system. You're just drinking a cup of hot butter. The feeling of being full and energetic isn't some metabolic magic. It's your system screaming, "Holy moly, we have received a payload of pure lipids. All non-essential bodily functions must shut down to process this." The science behind it is flimsier than a wet paper towel. Sure, the caffeine gives you a boost and the fat provides a slow-release energy source. But you know what else does that? Breakfast. A real breakfast. With protein and fiber and nutrients that don't just consist of saturated fat. You're essentially stripping away all the good parts of a morning meal, like, chewing, and replacing it with a concoction that has the nutritional profile of a candle. It's less of a health hack and more of a very expensive way to make your cardiologist nervous. Number 9. Midnight snack panic. It's 9:37 p.m. You're on the couch. A commercial for cheese-stuffed crust pizza comes on, and suddenly, a primal, ancient hunger awakens within you. But then, a little voice in your head whispers, "Don't you dare. It's after 8 p.m. Every calorie you eat now will immediately attach itself to your thighs like a panicked barnacle." This idea, that food eaten late at night is somehow more fattening, is one of the most stubborn health myths out there. It's as if we believe our digestive system clocks out for the day and puts up a little "gone fishing" sign. Let's be brutally, beautifully simple about this. Your body does not own a watch. It operates on a 24-hour cycle of energy in versus energy out. A calorie is a unit of energy, and it behaves the same way whether you consume it at 10 a.m. under the fluorescent lights of your office or at 10 p.m. under the judgmental glow of your laptop screen. Your metabolism doesn't just shut down when the sun sets. It's still humming along, repairing cells, regulating your temperature, and keeping you from becoming a human puddle while you sleep. So where did this myth come from? It's a classic case of correlation, not causation. People who eat late at night often do so out of boredom, stress, or because they're binging a show. The food choices tend to be less than ideal. We're not usually reaching for steamed broccoli at midnight. We're reaching for the pint of ice cream or the family-size bag of chips. So yes, people who frequently eat late at night might gain more weight, but it's because their total daily calorie intake is higher, not because their stomach's internal clock is broken. Basically, your body doesn't care about time zones, it just cares about math. Number 8. The black latte scam. For a hot minute, the wellness world decided that the key to health was to make everything look like it was dredged up from the bottom of a barbecue pit. Activated charcoal was suddenly in everything. Lattes, ice cream, lemonade, even pizza crusts. It was marketed as a powerful detoxifying agent that would latch onto all the impurities in your body and escort them out, leaving you as pure as a newborn angel. And it looked cool on Instagram, which is at least 80% of the reason any wellness trend exists. Here's the inconvenient truth about activated charcoal. It works. It works too well. In a hospital, activated charcoal is used in emergencies to treat certain types of poisoning or drug overdoses. It's incredibly porous, and its whole job is to be a chemical sponge. It uses a process called adsorption. Not absorption, adsorption, to bind with whatever is around it in your stomach and intestines. This is great if you've just ingested a bottle of poison. It's not so great if you've just ingested a nutrient-rich meal and a bunch of expensive vitamins. When you sip on that gothic-looking charcoal latte, the charcoal doesn't magically know to only bind with toxins. It's not a tiny, sentient janitor. It binds with everything. The vitamin C from your orange, the calcium in your milk, and most importantly, any medications you might be taking. That birth control pill, antidepressant, or heart medication, the charcoal could be binding to that too, rendering it less effective or completely useless. You're essentially paying extra for a beverage that actively works to make you less healthy by stealing the nutrients from your food before your body can get to them. It's like hiring a bouncer who throws out not just the troublemakers, but also all of your invited guests. Number 7, ear candling. If you've ever thought, I want to improve my hearing, but I also want to risk setting my own head on fire, then boy, do I have the ancient, disproven practice for you. Ear candling involves lying on your side while someone sticks a hollow cone-shaped candle into your ear canal and lights the other end. The claim is that the gentle flame creates a vacuum, a sort of low-grade chimney effect, that sucks out earwax, toxins, and evil spirits from your ear canal. After the session, the practitioner will gleefully cut open the candle stub to reveal a pile of dark, waxy gunk, presenting it as proof of all the impurities it heroically extracted. Let's get the obvious out of the way. You are lighting a fire next to your hair and face. This is generally filed under the category of bad ideas. But beyond the risk of third-degree burns and dripping hot wax into your eardrum, the entire premise is scientific nonsense. Studies have shown that ear candles produce zero vacuum pressure. Zero. In fact, some tests show they can actually push existing earwax deeper into the canal. So what's all that gunk they show you at the end? It's not your ear's deep, dark secrets. It's just melted candle wax and fabric soot. Researchers have analyzed the residue and found it's composed of the same materials as the candle itself. They've even tried burning the candles in a room with no ears present and, shocker, the same gunk appears inside. You are literally paying someone to burn a candle, show you the melted wax, and tell you it came from inside your head. It's the wellness equivalent of a magician pulling a quarter from behind your ear, except it's less impressive and comes with a non-zero chance of facial immolation. Number 6. Steaming your nether regions. There comes a time in every celebrity wellness guru's life when they look at a common household appliance and think, I can put that near my genitals. Thus, the trend of vaginal steaming was born. This practice involves sitting or squatting over a pot of steaming, herb-infused water. Proponents claim it can do everything from cleansing the uterus and balancing hormones to tightening tissues and reducing menstrual cramps. It's pitched as a sort of spa day for your most intimate parts. Here's a fun biology fact. Your vagina is not a wrinkly shirt that needs to be steamed. It is a self-cleaning organ with a very delicate and carefully balanced ecosystem of bacteria, known as your vaginal microbiome. This microbiome maintains a specific acidic pH, which is crucial for fighting off infections. Now, what do you think happens when you aim a plume of hot, herb-infused steam directly at that finely tuned environment? You disrupt it. You risk killing off the good bacteria, altering the pH, and essentially rolling out the welcome mat for yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis. Furthermore, the skin in that area is incredibly sensitive. You're at risk of scalding or burning yourself in a place you really don't want to burn. And the idea that steam can somehow travel up through your cervix and cleanse your uterus? That's not how anatomy works. Your cervix is a formidable gatekeeper for a reason. You can't just steam clean your internal organs. It's a solution in search of a problem, based on a complete misunderstanding of the female reproductive system. Your body has this covered. Just leave it alone. Number 5. Turning yourself blue. In the Wild West of alternative medicine, there's a persistent belief that if something was used 100 years ago, it must be better than modern chemicals. This brings us to colloidal silver, a concoction of tiny silver particles suspended in liquid. Before the invention of antibiotics, silver was used as an antimicrobial. So, naturally, some people decided that drinking it must be a great way to cure everything from the common cold to cancer. The logic is, silver kills germs on a countertop, so it must kill germs in my body. This is like saying that, because bleach kills germs on a countertop, you should add a splash to your morning smoothie. Your body isn't a kitchen counter. The problem is, while your body can process and excrete most things, it has no efficient way to get rid of heavy metals like silver. So, when you keep ingesting it, the silver particles build up in your system. They accumulate in your skin, your organs, and your eyes. Then, when you go out in the sun, a fun little photochemical reaction occurs, and the silver deposits essentially tarnish, like old jewelry, except the old jewelry is you. This leads to a permanent, irreversible condition called argyria. It turns your skin a ghostly slate gray or blue color. Forever. There is no cure. The most famous case was a man named Paul Carasson, who became known as Papa Smurf, after decades of drinking colloidal silver turned his entire body a deep blue. He was a walking, talking, and very blue cautionary tale. So while proponents might tell you you're boosting your immune system, what you're really doing is signing up for a lifelong, full-body tattoo that you can't remove, in a color that's really hard to coordinate an outfit with. Number 4. Eating for your blood type. Imagine going to a restaurant and, with a deep sense of worldly wisdom, telling the waiter, I can't have that lentil soup. I'm a type O, and my primal hunter-gatherer blood rejects legumes. This is the reality of the Eat Right for Your Type diet, a wildly popular system that dictates your entire diet based on whether you have A, B, or O blood. The theory goes that each blood type evolved at a different point in human history, and therefore, you should eat like your ancient ancestors. Type O's are meant to be carnivorous hunters, Type A's are agrarian vegetarians, and so on. This sounds incredibly specific and scientific, which is exactly why so many people bought into it. It's got charts, it's got history, it has all the trappings of a well-researched system. The only thing it doesn't have is a single shred of scientific evidence to support it. A massive review of over 1,000 studies found absolutely no link between a person's blood type and the effects of any specific diet. It's a genetic fantasy. The reason some people feel better on this diet is simple. Regardless of your blood type, the diet generally encourages you to eat more whole foods and fewer processed junk foods. If you go from a diet of fast food and soda to the Type A vegetarian diet, you're going to feel better. Not because of your blood, but because you've stopped eating garbage. The blood type part is just decorative pseudoscience sprinkled on top of very generic common sense advice. Your blood is busy carrying oxygen and fighting infections. It genuinely does not care whether you had the steak or the tofu. Number 3. Alkaline water. Walk down the water aisle of any high-end grocery store and you'll find it. Sleek, expensive bottles of alkaline water, promising to balance your body's pH and neutralize acidity. The premise is that our modern diets are too acidic, leading to a host of health problems, and that by drinking water with a higher pH, we can restore our body's natural, healthy, alkaline state. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on a fundamental misunderstanding of high school biology. Your body is not a swimming pool. You cannot just dump some chemicals in to change its overall pH. It has multiple, powerful, and non-negotiable systems in place to maintain the pH of your blood within an incredibly narrow range of 7.35 to 7.45. This is called acid-base homeostasis. If your blood pH deviates even slightly from this range, you don't just feel a little sluggish. You get critically ill and probably die. Your body will do anything to prevent this, using your lungs and kidneys as powerful buffers. When you drink that $9 bottle of alkaline water, it first hits your stomach, which is an organ specifically designed to be an acid bath. Your stomach acid has a pH of around 1.5 to 3.5, and it will instantly neutralize that alkaline water before it even has a chance to be absorbed. Your stomach doesn't care about your wellness goals. Its job is to dissolve things. Even if some of that alkalinity made it past your stomach, your body's robust buffering systems would immediately kick in to keep your blood pH stable. You're essentially paying a premium for water that gives your internal organs a brief, pointless chore to do. Number 2, low-fat mania. For those who weren't there, it's hard to explain the absolute chokehold the low-fat craze had on the 80s and 90s. Fat was declared public enemy number 1. It was the villain in every health story, the evil culprit behind heart disease and weight gain. The food industry responded with a tidal wave of products proudly labeled low-fat, reduced fat, or fat-free. Supermarket aisles were filled with fat-free cookies, fat-free cheese, fat-free salad dressing, and fat-free everything. We thought we had cracked the code. We were on the verge of becoming a nation of lean, healthy superhumans. But there was a problem. When you take the fat out of food, you take out most of the flavor and texture. A fat-free cookie tastes like cardboard. A fat-free yogurt has the consistency of chalky glue. To make these products even remotely palatable, food companies had to replace the fat with something else. And their ingredient of choice? Sugar. Mountains of it. And corn syrup and various other forms of refined carbohydrates. People started gobbling up these guilt-free treats, thinking they were being healthy. But they were inadvertently swapping one dietary devil for another, arguably worse one. We now know that healthy fats are essential for hormone function, brain health, and absorbing certain vitamins. And we also know that diets high in refined sugar and simple carbs are a major driver of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and inflammation. The Great Low-Fat experiment was a colossal failure. We were so busy fighting the monster in the closet that we didn't notice the one that came in through the front door and replaced all our food with sugar. Number 1. The Great Detox Lie. This is the king of all wellness scams, the final boss of dumb health advice, the detox. Whether it's a 7-day juice cleanse, a detox, or a foot pad that promises to pull toxins out through your soles while you sleep, the concept is the same. Your body is supposedly a walking landfill, clogged with unspecified toxins from modern life, and only by drinking nothing but lemon cayenne water for a week can you purify yourself. The marketing is brilliant, preying on our guilt and our desire for a quick fix, a biological reset button. Let me introduce you to two of the most sophisticated, powerful, and underappreciated detoxification systems on the planet: your liver and your kidneys. You are born with them. They work 24/7 for free. Your liver is a metabolic powerhouse that converts harmful substances into harmless ones that can be excreted. Your kidneys are master filters, constantly sifting through your blood to remove waste products and usher them out via your urine. They are incredibly good at their jobs. They do not need help from a $60 bottle of green juice. When you go on a juice cleanse, you're not releasing toxins. You're starving yourself of fiber, fat, and protein. The rapid weight loss you might experience in the first few days. That's almost entirely water weight and glycogen, not fat. The gunk you might see after a colonic? That's just normal intestinal waste. The only thing these products are effectively cleansing is your bank account. You feel terrible because you're malnourished, and you feel great when it's over because you finally allowed yourself to eat solid food again. It's an artificially created problem with a very, very expensive and unpleasant solution. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.